Welcome back to Avalon and Ninth. Please make sure to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell so you never miss a video. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with another 52 weeks of fandom. That's right. So we're catching up on this. I told you we're going to be catching up on it. So this is week 26 and week 27. Which officially makes us halfway through the year, which is absolutely insane. And I am using this kit from Perfect Prints Co. It was it the July limited edition kit? Or maybe, no, it wasn't the July. It was the June limited edition kit. So it's all about Independence Day. Obviously, I saved this. I bought two of them. And one was going to go in this planner, which obviously is happening. And was going to go on the week of July 4th because, hello, Independence Day. So I remember growing up, and when this movie came out in theaters, my dad bought us tickets, and we went to go see one of the showings on opening day, and I was absolutely thrilled. I remember sitting in the seat and just watching it, and I was just like bug-eyed, wide-eyed, just like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing movie ever. And I loved it. I still love Aliens to this day. There's something about aliens and outer space and things like that. In fact, let's put it this way. I would rather be launched into outer space than go deep sea diving. So, however, both are very scary. So, where to get started? Well, first off, I'm using the date covers that came with this kit because if you've been following me for any time, you'll know that a little last year when I did the Halloween kit, like when I did the 52 weeks of Halloween, I did a kit from Perfect Prints Co. and I opted not to use the date covers that came with the kit and opted to use my date covers, and the aesthetic and the vibe did not work. So I now really choose to use the date covers that come with the kit. However, if there are no date covers that come with the kit, then I will use whatever. And a lot of times I just end up leaving it blank because there's nothing wrong with leaving it blank. So, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm glad you are here. This is one of the many projects I do on top of everything else, but this is the one that is like my little baby. And I take a theme for the year and I take a planner, and this is my second year doing it, and we run with it. So last year was 52 weeks of Halloween. Last year was 52 weeks of Halloween. This year is 52 weeks of fandom. Next year is going to be 52 weeks of Harry Potter, foiled Harry Potter. And each time I take a planner and decide like what I'm going to use it for. So last year I kind of just filled it in with things that I didn't make it into my normal planner. This time I'm doing a This Day in History. So that is what that sticker is for. This Day in History, TDIH. That is font number 5 of the custom scripts in my shop. And then I pair it with an emoji from the Coffee Monsters Co. Oh, if you were wondering where the weekend banner came from, that came from Oh Hello Michelle. I don't know if she's still opened. I haven't ordered from her in a very long time, but I love those weekend banners, and it was a perfect neutral color. So, on the 28th of June, in the year 2000, Elian Gonzalez was returned to his father in Cuba. I remember a lot of this. 2000, I was 16 years old, so obviously, like, world events were not my thing, because, let's face it, 16, the world revolves around you, right? But I do remember hearing things about this, and seeing, both sides, like, very passionate people on both sides, so, but that's about it. So, June 29th, 1767, the British Parliament approved the Townshend Acts. I failed to look this one up. I've heard of it before. I should know it because 2 years ago, my oldest son had to do early American history. And this was like Revolutionary time. And so I remember this. Oh, believe my last. It was not Tuesday. or Tuesday. Good grief, words are hard. It was not 2 years ago. It was just this last year. That's right. That I remember because it was in the book. But yeah, Townshend-X. So one of these days, I will really have my act together and have more information for you on these. Probably so with my next theme that I'm going to do next year, because I'm already starting on it. That's right, starting on it 6 months early to be prepared. So, Wednesday the 30th, 1934, Hitler secured his position in the Nazi Party by a blood purge, ridding the party of other leaders. So, this I do kind of know a little bit of information about. So, one of the things is, like, when Hitler first started really coming in, he joined the Nazi Party, and he worked his way up. And by ridding the other leaders really solidified him to be able to make the decisions that he made, because then he wouldn't have anybody standing in his way. So, people who stand up and get in politicians' ways, that is the best thing. At least, in my opinion, it is. So, on to the first. Of course, we have the little sticky note. Oh, if you're wondering what stickers I'm using for putting the little TDIH and emojis on, those are stickers from my monthly functional subscription. This one, I want to say, no, it wasn't November 2020. I can't remember. I think it was February 2020 is what it was, but not entirely sure. But I love the functional subscription because it allows me the freedom to do this. And look at how well those colors match this spread. And it doesn't take away from this spread. So, 1943, income tax withholding began in the U.S. This happened after, the gold standard. We all know about the gold standard. So I want to say it was 1939 that they started to really rid themselves, like the U.S. started to rid itself of like people actually having gold, and then eventually in came the income tax aspect. And clearly we all, if you live in the U.S., you know what income tax is. So Friday, July 2nd, 1566, French astrologer, physician, and prophet Nostradamus died. It was the most interesting thing that was on there that day. A lot of the ones, so I'm going to give you a little insight into the back end of like this day in history. So I do peruse a couple of websites to gather the information. Not all of them have really great and exciting things that happened on that day in history. And sometimes I'm really pressed for time to be able to try and find things. So you sometimes get something like that, 1566. So, real quick, I ran out of TDIH stickers, so on Sunday I'm not going to end up putting one, but I come back and I filmed more because I went and printed some more, and I made them a little larger the second time around. Don't know how I really feel about that because I failed at saving the file that I used under a name. So, 1962, Jackie Robinson became the first African American to be inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. So my grandfather was a huge baseball fan, loved baseball. I mean, he was born in the 1920s, so he watched baseball all through, World War II. He loved it through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s. Like, he's the one that got me into baseball and loving baseball. And we no longer watch baseball or anything like that. Like, my husband isn't into baseball or anything like that. So, but when I saw that, it immediately made me think of my grandfather. So I was like, I had to put that one down. So July 4th, don't have my TDIH yet, but 1776, the U.S. declared independence from Great Britain. I think y'all could have saw that one coming. That's what I was going to put. I mean, it was Independence Day. I am a citizen of the United States, and that is something significant that happened in history. So I finished that off. You can see that I point there and like, oh, yep, missing out. So here is the full spread. Love how it turned out. And I'm going to roll right into week 27. This is where I come back and I pull out my TDIH because I'm not going to forget that. I'm not going to forget that. So I pulled out this kit from Beyond Paper Flowers. Like, I've got a ton of them. And we've got a random bobby pin that decides, hey, I want to be a part of this video. Don't know why there's a bobby pin sitting there. But if you have long hair or you have a dancer in the family, you know that bobby pins end up everywhere. We have massive amounts of bobby pins, and I buy bobby pins by like the big boxes that you can buy because we go through them because we just go through them. So random bobby pin right there. Anyways, pull out my Simply Gilded washi to match as closely as I can to this kit because the 2-page kits that Beyond Paper Flowers sells does not come with bottom washi, which makes it a really, really versatile kit and allows you to do whatever you want with it. So I'm going to pull out my small little date dots from Terran's Sticker Shop, and I'm just trying to decide what I wanted to do up there because it didn't have any glitter headers where I would normally put glitter headers, and it is completely fine because I just moved the date covers down to cover that first, down to that line, that bottom of that header line. Worked out perfectly. But I mean, come on, who doesn't love a Mrs. Doubtfire kit? I have so many kits from Beyond Paper Flowers. It's absolutely insane. This is not the first time she's made an appearance in my planner. I'm just quickly gonna try and flip through and see like what are the other ones. So you can definitely tell that there are a few shops that I really, really love. Yeah, so I did a Sesame Street one not too long ago. I know that I did Halloween with her last year, but I have so many because I can just add stuff in. I think that's what I did. Like, I have a pretty good mix of shops in this planner, but I definitely have ones that I have a tendency to favor. So I'm just going to kind of go in order with the full boxes and get this done. So July 5th, we have the TDIH sticker, of course, because that's not going anywhere. And then the emoji, I had to pull out a new page because I didn't have enough to go around for this week, which is amazing. That means I'm getting through my stash, and I fully support using all of your stickers. So, 1996, Dolly, the first sheep cloned from adult cells, was born. Oh my gosh, do I remember this. And I remember, because I grew up in Utah. That's pretty self-explanatory there if you know anything about Utah. And I remember reading, like, hearing from lots of religious leaders all over the place, not just my religion, but just all over the place about the implications of this, because I remember it being really super controversial. And I want to say earlier in this year I did mention, that, when she died. I'd have to go back. I'm not obviously going to go back right now, but I just remember it being super, super controversial. Apparently, I like to write things down in history, and that's what's going to make history, is usually like the controversial stuff, or, obviously something that made an impact on society in one way or another. So, are you really surprised there that I'd pick something controversial? No. So, Tuesday, July 6, 1942, Anne Frank and her family sought refuge from the Nazis in Amsterdam. So there's been, clearly know that there's quite a few things that I have written in this. If you've followed this entire time, like, that World War II has been or right around that has been pretty significant in here. But I do try to do other things. I try not to go too, far back in history because then it gets kind of, like you have no attachment to it. So, Wednesday, July 7th, 1981, President Ronald Reagan nominated Sandra Day O'Connor for the Supreme Court. So, woohoo, another woman being represented in my planner. I have done that too. A lot of women, a lot of first women's have been represented in this planner. Being a woman, naturally I skew towards that kind of bias because I think women are amazing people. So, generally, I just think people are amazing, but in like our society, especially when some are looked at differently, which I could totally go off on a complete tangent because I had a bad experience with men not believing me today, and it hit me on a very frustrating level. So I'm gonna put the firsts in here because it just go, just raise that arm and be strong. All right. Thursday, July 8th, 1889, the Wall Street Journal began publication. I didn't know it's been in publication that long. Had no clue. Friday, July 9th, 1997, boxer Mike Tyson was temporarily banned from boxing for biting Evander Holyfield's ear. This one is like pop culture, fandom, never gonna die. Like 100 years from now, people are still gonna be talking about it. There's still gonna be videos out there, things like that, because it was, oh my gosh, it was a crazy, crazy time. Crazy time. I remember like MTV. Do you remember the claymation things? They had him there and he bit, somebody's ear off, and oh, it was just crazy. Anyways, crazy stuff. I love the word crazy right now. Saturday, July 10th, 1985, Coca-Cola announced it was bringing back the original Coke and calling it Coca-Cola Classic. So if you go back a few episodes, you'll know that I did New Coke. And people who were around and tasted New Coke and everything, they were like, it was absolutely disgusting. So I was too young to obviously taste New Coke and remember what it was all about. So I'm just going to take their words for it. But they brought it back and called it Coca-Cola Classic. If you have Hulu, watch The Food That Made America, and they have the whole Coca-Cola story in there. Mind-blowing, mind-boggling. It's insane. Sunday, July 11th, 1914, Babe Ruth made his Major League Baseball debut as a pitcher for the Boston Red Sox. So, made me think of my grandfather again, although he wasn't born in 1914. Just anything baseball makes me think of my grandfather. So that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope to see you again next time. Until then, take care. Bye.